some studies suggest that our underlying attitudes are actually a reflection of our beliefs on certain core values and where we fall along a spectrum on these values. So these 4 core values, at least the ones that are relevant to attitudes that are brought to bear on politics, right, that form public opinion, are individualism, support for equal opportunity, moral traditionalism, and opposition to big government. Now, these values are then brought to bear on politics through the formation of these consistent ideologies. Now, ideologies, just like attitudes, can change over time, but typically we are relatively consistent in our attitudes over a long period of time. Now, when I say consistent, I do mean over time. Ideological labels may hide internal inconsistencies, as we'll see. So, conservative ideology, the first of our 2 main ideologies that we're going to look at, is marked by a distrust in government and greater faith in private enterprise. So, generally belief in small government and a lot of sort of market freedom. But conservative ideology would also say that the government should be used to enforce moral traditionalism. Conservatives typically favor a larger military and a more assertive use of the pursuit of national self-interest abroad. Conservatives typically advocate for lower taxes. Now, the reason for this is typically they think money should stay in private hands because that encourages private enterprise, right? Corporations, the market. And they think that this will help stimulate growth and also restrict government capacity to use all this extra money for social welfare programs, which generally are a mark of big government, and conservatives feel that the market will do a better job than the government at providing these services. On the other side, we have liberal ideology. And liberal ideology favors using the government to reduce economic inequalities and champion the rights of disadvantaged groups. So basically to promote equality. And typically, the liberals, however, favor a smaller defense establishment and less military use in military force, in international politics. They typically believe the rich should be taxed at higher rates than the poor. This serves 2 purposes. The first is to finance social welfare programs, and second is to help reduce perhaps a little bit of inequality, right? Taking a little bit from the rich, giving some of that to the poor, helps reduce inequality, and it also takes money, puts it in the hands of the government, who liberals typically are more trusting of. Now, I think I skipped over one bullet here. While liberal ideology generally is more trusting of the government to manage money and reduce inequality than conservatives who believe the market is the best way of doing that, liberals want the government to stay out of moral traditionalism, and they tolerate a much more diverse range of social behaviors. So we can see how these 2 beliefs are in many ways opposite each other, and how that they do interpret the role of the government very differently. So this is important for politicians, right? Because to know if someone is liberal or conservative is an important sort of measure of their opinion on stuff, how attitudes are going to be brought to bear on political choices.